Hey everyone, you're listening to Midlife Matters, the podcast for women parenting teens and young adults. I'm Marie, and each week I'm joined by my friends Mindy and Julie to talk about all the topics keeping women in the middle years up at night. Today we're going to be discussing Christmas traditions, as well as the ways Christmas changes and stays the same as your kids grow up. Let's get started. Hey Mindy and Julie, how you doing?
Great.
Hey,
How are you, Marie?
girls. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys too. I'm excited because we are entering that wonderful time of year, Christmas. I'm excited about today's episode because I need all the help I can get in the month of December.
We all do.
Hectic month.
I can never decide, is it a marathon or a sprint? It feels like both.
It does, and it can be so exhausting.
Yeah, it starts out slow and steady. You think, I am right on pace. And by the
Mhm.
last week, you are sprinting to finish it all.
It just kind of snowballs toward the end. Yeah.
It really does.
But
and
I love it. It's one of my favorite times.
That's good. I mean, I love it too, but I don't know until it's over if I can say it's one of my favorite times. But I'm so glad that other people think it's their favorite time, and I'm glad it's my kids' favorite time.
I have to say, I have to really pray and prepare for the season because it can really be exhausting. And I don't know if it's self-imposed pressure or pressures like from my kids or outside sources or, the people that are coming to stay or, whatever it is. There always seems to be so much that sometimes I just have a lot of intrepidation going into the season. And unfortunately, sometimes I even think I wish it would just be over.
I'm really glad to hear you say that
I
because I do
hate to say
start
that.
out sometimes that way too.
Yeah.
Julie, you're always gung ho, full on, bring it on.
Yeah, and I'm always really sad when it's over. So
Aw.
I just kind of relish in every moment of
Well, I think that's really great.
Me too.
it.
But one thing I tell myself every year, and one thing I am completely caught off guard with every year, I think my kids are older now, so Christmas should be easier. Christmas will
Oh,
be a breeze, and that
right.
has not happened yet. I don't know. Do you guys ever think about that?
I
Well,
know.
I mean, it is easier in some ways, but I don't know. I think gift giving gets harder,
For sure.
when they're older because now they care about what they get.
You can't just open up the Target toy catalog and say, circle
No,
5 things that are on your top 10 list, and we'll see if Santa gets them.
no, I have to work a lot harder to come up with unique and clever gifts so that part's harder.
And I feel like I'm vying for their attention as much as adults have pulling at us for Christmas parties or, outside gift giving to coworkers or anything like that. Then your kids get to an age and now they have their own calendars that you're having to kind of vie for their attention. So I feel like with us, if I'm not completely intentional about every moment, I'm going to hardly see them. And when they are home, I want to be making memories.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking, what can we do? What can we experience now that they're old enough to do things?
I can definitely relate to that. Today, we wanted to talk about what Christmas traditions look like when your kids are older, now that you're not running to the mall every year to get a Santa picture and the Fisher Price nativity scene isn't sitting underneath your tree. It looks different. And so what does it look like? What do your Christmas traditions look like in your house, Julie? What do your older children still love and ask for?
I kind of thought about what each one of them likes because they don't all like the same thing, which makes it
Mm.
hard because that means we have lots of traditions to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
I know our oldest likes going to look at Christmas lights. We all pile in the car a few nights before Christmas and go and look at lights. They all like to stay in their PJs all day long on Christmas Day. That's something that, because we don't have a big family, we have never gone from house to house to house. We don't have a house to go to, so we can stay in our own house, and they actually love that. Because
Mhm.
other years I've suggested, let's go to a movie on Christmas Day or whatever. Like, no, we'd have to get dressed. They like to stay in their PJs. We always have a fire in the fireplace, which was funny because I think it was 2 years ago when it was 78 degrees on
Oh, I
Christmas.
remember that.
I know we had Christmas dinner out on our porch, but we still had to have a fire in the fireplace. So all the windows and doors are open. We had a small fire because Molly doesn't have a fireplace in her home. So she likes to have that when she comes back home. We do gifts in order one at a time. We don't just have a big free for all. It's John's turn, then mine, then Molly's, and we go around in a circle and we all watch. So gift giving or gift opening can last several hours, and they all like it that way. That's something that we have to keep doing.
Oh, I love that.
And Andrew loves cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning, and it's funny because they're not homemade. They all want the Pillsbury.
Yes.
Which is easy. Yes. I'm like, okay, I can keep that tradition going for years.
Right.
Way to go, Andrew.
Yeah. But, I was looking back at, a tradition is something that you do that you're trying to keep something that your family values alive. Most of our traditions have involved people and having people into our home. We've had parties from when the kids were really young. We would have storytelling parties where kids would bring their favorite storybooks and we'd read them aloud. We've had cookie swaps and wreath making parties, homeschool parties, life group parties. I think relationships and people are really important to us.
That is really good. And now that you're mentioning it, I mean, John's birthday, your husband's birthday, is on Christmas Eve, and I can remember at least once and maybe twice that you've had birthday parties for him on Christmas Eve during the day, and I just remember those
Yeah.
even being fun to go to.
Yeah.
It was fun to get out and celebrate someone's birthday on Christmas Eve, and then of course I know that you like to do the cookie swaps, and I can definitely see you having a wreath making party. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I know.
Everybody brings their own greenery and we just
wow.
make wreaths.
Yeah, that sounds really good. What about you, Mindy? What kind of traditions did you think of that your kids still love and ask for?
When I actually asked a couple of them what they enjoyed about our Christmas, because we've lived so many different places, we haven't always been, with family. And so for us, Christmas always means, thankfully, our family will travel. Both my family and Bryce's family will travel to see us. And so we've always had somebody at our house on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But also, our very favorite part and our very favorite tradition is our gift giving. So similar to Julie, we take our time with it, and that's something that honestly I'll say Bryce and I really try to stress, and we try to start early asking them, okay, not so much what do you want, but what do you want to give, like, to your sibling.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll give them money and we'll take them shopping and we'll try to help them pick something out for their sibling. And then Bryce and I each try to get the kids involved in gifts to give to the other parent too. I have to say, like, our very favorite part is on Christmas morning, no matter who's in the house, at some point, the six of us, sometimes we'll just even hole up in Bryce and my bedroom and we'll take time to have an intimate gift giving time, because then each of us takes turns giving gifts to someone, and it's so fun to see what they've gotten for each other and how excited they get to give something to each other. It just has gotten even more special as they get older, and like Abby and Grant will have jobs and they actually want to spend more money on gifts and things like that. So
it is neat to see them taking an interest in trying to find something that they know that their sibling will like.
That is like a treasured moment for me when it's like taking the siblings shopping while they're whining and they don't want to go to the store and they
can't think of any ideas.
They have no idea. And one of my boys is like, why should I get Abby makeup? And I'm like, that's what she likes.
Right.
It's just really fun. Like I said, even though we'll have a house full, taking just time to make it really special for the six of us to be able to give gifts together has been fun.
We do that similarly with the siblings, and it started out where I would give money, and inexpensive. I mean, I remember my mom actually starting this tradition with us. I had 3 siblings. There were 4 of us. She gave us each $10, if you can believe it, and you had to buy 3 other kids a gift at the mall. And one of my
Wow.
most funny memories is my younger brother. He must have been able to read because we all had to walk around the mall by ourselves. But when I opened my gift, I was still young enough, I guess, he thought I would like this. But it was so sweet. I saved it for so long. It was a rabbit that said Happy Easter. And it must have been, that was at the time when there were actual toy stores in the mall. And it was
Yes.
probably like super discounted in the stuffed animal section. And he
Unfair.
only had $3 per sibling to spend. And he's probably like, look at this, who knows? Maybe it was like $1.50. I don't know. But it was just, we laughed about that it said Happy Easter.
You should like that, Marie. He got a bargain.
I know. I saved it for a long time.
That's so
But,
sweet.
so we would start out, even I think when they were little, they would just go and pick out a few items at the Dollar Tree for their siblings. And, you'd kind of be like, well, don't go in this aisle because so-and-so's shopping. Don't look. But,
That's right.
it was fun for them. And now as they've gotten older, then we would give them a little bit more money. But when they have a job as a teenager, then they have to buy the sibling gifts out of their own money. And at
Right.
first they're all like, oh, but I actually think that it turns out to be more meaningful that they've had to think of their
Definitely.
sibling and spend their own money, and they really take pleasure in that person opening the gift and being surprised or happy. They just really love that. I can remember, I think it was 2 years ago, I want to say Davis bought Abigail, my oldest, an antique camera. And yeah, it was him because he looked on Craigslist. She was shocked just to it didn't work anymore, but it was like one of those brownie cameras, and she's a
Yes.
photographer, and he just thought that she would like to display that in her bedroom. And it was such a sweet, thoughtful gift.
Yeah, that took a
Wow.
lot of thought.
Yeah, yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, so they really take joy in seeing their sibling open up a gift and be surprised at what they've picked out. One more tradition that I was thinking of was every year I decorate over 100. Well, I don't decorate them. I make over 100 cutouts. Once we have those in stacks, we'll set aside a night and I put the tablecloth on, we put on Christmas music, and we decorate all of those at once because I'm the type of person that can only stand all those little glittery balls out once a year. But I love that tradition. We have so many fun memories of that. And even last year, we found a funny home video of the twins. They were probably in kindergarten. They would stick their knife in the frosting, lick it, then frost a cookie. But we never noticed they were doing that, but the video camera caught it. And they're just, we still all ate all those cookies. And
You haven't ever gifted those cookies, have you?
No, I never have.
That's right.
Because we do it like however they want to decorate it. So it's usually got mounds of sugary decorations on it. But it's been fun just to see the pictures of how they've progressed in their sophistication of decorating too. So it's a really fun tradition.
I thought I was going to be that mom. I tried to be that mom with the cookies. It is not me. So not me. We had to move on to things that we could do well. So we dip everything in chocolate and call it good.
That is perfect.
So
That'll do it.
we're like, what do we want dipped in chocolate? That's what we're making. And then,
Right.
One tradition that Molly started with her new family, well, her family has been doing it, but she's joined in, is they decorate cookies like you do, Marie. Like I think the mom bakes them, and then one night they all come together and decorate, and they select one and they enter it into this contest. And now with social media, they take pictures of all of them and number them, and people from all over the country vote.
Oh,
And then
Yes.
there's a winner every year. So that's really cool.
I love that.
Uh,
And sometimes it seems like she has a theme. Like, was it Star Wars one year? And
Everybody does some kind of themed cookie,
Okay,
like from The
okay.
Office.
yeah, and that's really fun to see what theme they've picked out for the
They're
year.
hilarious.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys do gingerbread houses? I can see Julie totally doing this and doing it so well.
I don't do it every year, but I have
Okay.
done them. And you know what? They save. I just
Oh
put them
my
in the
gosh.
cabinet and pull them out every year.
Marie, do you guys do those?
Well, Abigail, Lydia, and Lauren will decorate a gingerbread house, but I just buy the $10 kit at Walmart, maybe get a little bit of extra frosting and candies to
Right.
put on it because sometimes they don't have enough, and I call it good.
All right. Okay, well, I have to say that one of the traditions we have, it never fails, we have a gingerbread house fail.
Oh.
Like Pinterest fails. That's the Stillman family with trying to do a gingerbread house. It doesn't matter how careful we are. That sucker always caves in and falls. And we always have a picture of the kids standing around a fallen, broken down gingerbread house. We're like, here it is.
Well, even that failed tradition is something that your kids will bring up, though, and love.
Yeah.
You will learn I am not the crafty one.
Right.
The fails can be just as fun, though.
Oh, yeah. You just have to laugh.
Yeah.
So,
like Julie, we also love to look at the Christmas lights. Do you guys go out and look at Christmas lights, Mindy?
We do. And sometimes there's a little more whining that happens to get into the van. But once we're in the van, I mean, for us to start singing Christmas carols and then we start like barking Christmas carols and then the meowing the Christmas carols. I mean,
cool.
It's just a riot. And it's so fun to go see Christmas lights. We do love to do that.
Yeah. I do love that too. That's a special tradition. A lot of times the girls will put their pajama pants on and bring a pillow and blanket and we'll just kind of take an hour. I can't really say the boys have been gung-ho on going the past few years, but the girls still like to go.
Right. I say my boys are the ones that are doing the, I don't want to do that.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about some traditions that we love, but Mindy and I probably have at least one, I probably have several, Christmas traditions that I would sort of like to get rid of, but every time I try, my kids are like, no. Were you guys able to think of anything for this?
Can we say Elf on the Shelf?
Are you guys still doing?
Yes, we have to.
Oh, you do? How come?
Because the older kids want to do it.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, they want to think of crazy scenarios. And everyone still asks where the elf is. And goodness, I don't know if they should listen to this podcast because we moved. I don't know where the elf is.
Oh, you really don't know where he is.
This might be like one of those natural things, like when kids give up their pacifiers because they moved. Maybe your kids will give up Elf on the Shelf because they moved.
Well, it's just fun. Everybody knows somebody in the house is moving it.
Right.
But it's like everybody takes turns doing crazy stuff with it or, thinking of some scenario. And it's hilarious, the creativity that comes out with this elf.
Yeah.
And I do, I love it sometimes, except when I'm tired, which unfortunately that's most nights that I'm tired. I'm like, I'm just too tired. So I'll tell Abby or Grant to move it.
Right.
Or Bryce. Bryce moves it a lot. He'll wake up early at 4 a.m. He's like, well, nobody moved him.
We kind of missed that window. It happened later than our kids.
Yes.
It just wasn't something we started when they were young because so we did one tradition. Well, I say tradition. We did it twice.
Uh-huh.
And
that's a tradition in my book.
Me too.
Somebody did it to us, so we thought it would be fun to do to someone else. And we actually chose the Blaisdell family right after they moved in. We did this 12 days of Christmas where every night, for 12 nights, we went over to their house and dropped something off on their front porch.
Oh, wow.
And I can't remember exactly what, the first night was partridge in a pear tree. I think we gave them some pears. And then what's the second night? 2 turtle doves?
Turtle dove.
Yeah, I think we gave them turtle or dove chocolate. And then 3
cool.
French hens. There was 3 of something, then 4 of something. You get it all the way up to
is
12.
cool.
And that was a big commitment to do 12.
Yeah.
And we would wait till their kids were in bed, which was probably a bad idea. They were probably, because I'm sure their kids started, she said they started anticipating it every night, and they, we never told who did it. So they might just now be finding out if she listens. I think our kids kind of magnified that as the most glorious thing ever, and they've asked to do it. David would still ask, "Can we do that again? Can we do that again?"
Oh, that
and
is so cool.
I think we might have done it one other time, and I thought that 12 nights is just a lot to keep up.
That's a huge commitment. Yes.
They lived close to us, so it was easy.
Right.
Yeah. But you want to make sure that you're being creative each time because you start to think about the kids opening the door and being excited about the gift.
Right.
And
it was a lot of fun, but it was just, I think we did it to a neighbor one year so we could literally just walk down the street, not have to drive up.
That is cool. Yeah.
That was fun.
Well, one tradition that I would love to get rid of is stockings.
Oh, Marie, that's the best part of Christmas.
I am a Scrooge. They are so hard for me to find items to fill
Uh,
evenly amongst 5 and now my son-in-law 6 stockings. We don't even do stockings for Steve and I. So, like 6
right.
stockings to find gifts that are going to appeal to teenagers and young adults.
Mm,
I don't like to give their big Christmas gift in a stocking. So even if they
right.
were going to get something small, like, and they're not getting this, so don't get excited, kids. Like if they were going to get like an Apple Watch or something, which believe me, they're
Right.
not getting. But, you might think, okay, well, I'll put that in the toe of their stocking. I don't want to put that in their stocking because we do stockings before gifts. And then during gifts, what would they open?
Oh,
So,
see, we do our stockings at the very end, and I do pull out one nice gift that's small and put in the stocking. So
okay.
they always know something good is in there.
Okay,
Yeah.
listen up. This is for all the moms. Set the bar low with the stockings.
How,
do,
what have you
do
done for
not get
stockings?
do not get so committed to the stockings that you have to keep it at that level for the rest of the years.
You put an
No,
orange in yours.
no, I did not do the Frankie Heck. I saw that middle episode,
An orangey Christmas.
the Orange Christmas. No, in fact, I was just thinking about our stockings, and we have these beautiful stockings with everybody's name on them, and I was so proud of those to finally look like I've gotten something together that coordinates and is pretty. But no, they get the same things in the stockings every year, because every year I go to buy stocking stuffers, and unfortunately, it always seems like it's an afterthought. And
Hmm.
I'm like, oh yeah, the stockings. And so I'm like, everybody needs a new charger cord.
Right.
Everybody wants iTunes gift cards, for money for music or books or whatever.
Those are
Hmm.
Um,
good gifts.
yeah, like those two things. It's headphones, it's charger cords, it's iTunes gift card, candy. You're good. That's done.
That is kind of exactly how we have settled on it too. And I am putting a call out to listeners. Please get on our Facebook. I'm going to put a question about this on our Facebook
Uh,
page and our Instagram page. We need new ideas. I need
Help,
ideas for
please.
stockings that are like $10 and under.
That's
Just
right.
fun things that you could give your kids. Today I was even thinking, how can I start to get rid of these stockings? And I thought, well, when Abigail and Nick have a child, I'm going to tell them, your stocking is over now. We're only going to
Uh-oh.
do it for the child.
Okay, Marie, that's terrible.
I know. But the one year that I said, let's just try to get rid of stockings 1 year, oh my goodness, they
Uh-uh.
complained and I had to bring them
Yeah,
back the next year. So I don't know how I'm ever going to get rid of these. And
you
if I
can't.
have
You can't.
5 kids that have all gotten married and start to have kids, I could be making like 25 stockings a year.
Maybe you need to start the orange thing then.
I know.
They won't ask you to fill their stocking anymore once they get oranges for a couple years.
Yeah,
You could do a
definitely.
couple stocking maybe once they're all
True.
married.
True. Yes,
Oh,
maybe a couple
yeah.
stocking. I don't
Like,
Yeah.
know. I definitely need ideas on this from listeners. Should we
oh,
keep the stockings or not? And if we're going to keep them, what are some new things that I can put in them?
yes. Oh, please.
We love stockings at our house, and that's their favorite part. They would totally revolt if we got rid of those. And I start looking in the summer for, just not intentionally looking, but I just pick things up and I just put them in this one closet. And
Can I come and live
sometimes
at
if
your house, Julie?
I know. I need to grow up one day and grow into Julie.
like if we're traveling, I just pick up little things. Or hey, and if you don't travel, you just need to go to World Market and get nice dark chocolate bars from another
Mm.
country.
Hmm.
Instead of a Hershey bar, give them a nice dark
Right.
chocolate bar.
Like that.
I've put bottled Cokes or root beer from different places that they like in there. Those little Nutella
Mm.
mini things, that washi tape,
Oh, yeah. That's a great
colored
idea.
Sharpies. Everybody loves a new pen.
That's
Um,
true.
Oh, I need to
Cute
get my pen out.
flash drives that have like their little animal shapes or
That's a
whatever.
great idea.
Currently
Anything
taking
techie.
notes.
And then I give gas cards and Kroger cards if they're out on their own. 'Cause
Oh, that's a great
that's
idea.
more practical than maybe iTunes or music or,
Oh,
or
yeah.
movie
Right.
tickets.
Now, do
Okay.
you and John have stockings anymore or no?
Yes, we
You
still
do?
do.
Oh, so you have to think of gifts for
Like who?
John's stockings too?
Yeah.
Okay, and he
That's
thinks of
probably the
gifts for
hardest.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My stocking's always empty.
I don't even put mine out.
Hello, Selman family. My stocking's always empty.
Get your game on, Silliman kids.
Well, what are some things that you think of to put in John's? Because my mind draws a complete blank.
Socks.
I
Socks.
say
And the
dress
socks
socks.
actually go in all of them, but
Okay.
yeah,
I love it.
sock. I don't know. Sometimes it's not even things that he just would love, but he might get a toothbrush. He might get, he might get some new earbuds. He might get a gift card to a store he likes, or he's really hard to buy for. And his birthday being Christmas Eve,
Oh,
it's really
Yeah.
hard to even think of enough stuff to give him anyway.
well, that's true.
And he likes those Lifesaver, the hard candies, that usually
Mm.
come in the little Santa book.
Oh, that's a good idea.
He
Oh,
always got one of those as a child, so I make sure I give him one every Christmas because
Yeah.
that's a childhood memory that he likes. So
Now, I'm going to really have to put you up on a high pedestal if you do stockings for your dog and cat.
no,
Okay.
I do not.
oh, wow.
No way.
But I'm sure they have at least one wrapped gift under the tree.
No, they don't. But
No?
Marie, I know Benny is going to have gifts.
He is going to have gifts because the girls are
Oh.
already saying what we can get Benny. He's our first pet ever. We got a little kitten in March, and they've been looking forward to how they're going to dress him at Christmas. I don't know that
Oh
he's going
my.
to really cooperate. They just said the other day, maybe we can put Benny in a stocking and take a picture. And I said, well, that
Oh,
might have worked when he was a kitten, but I don't even know if we have a stocking that would hold him now.
oh my goodness. I can't wait to see those pictures.
But when my parents traveled to Ireland this summer, they came back with this little Scottish looking black and white bow tie for Benny at Christmas time. So we've been
Aw,
saving that, and I am for sure going to take a picture.
he'll be so
oh, how
handsome.
cute.
Yes. Okay, so Julie's Queen of Stockings. Mindy is kind of just like meeting the lowest bar possible, and I want them out the door. But none of us can get rid of them. Rest easy, kids. Everybody will have a stocking this year.
That's right. Whether it has just an orange in it or not.
Right.
You should be grateful.
That's right.
So another tradition that I was thinking about, and I know my kids put a lot of stock in, they put a lot of stock in this kind of stuff when they're little, but I think as they grow older, the food becomes even more important. They want those traditional things that you make at Christmas. And if you leave one out, they really notice. Like in our house, we always have like a big food fest on Christmas Eve. And especially now that they're older, we don't open any Christmas presents on Christmas Eve because I'm having a hard enough time getting enough for them to open on Christmas Day. So we basically go to like a Christmas Eve service, then we come back and have a lot of fun foods and play games. And some of the things that I only make then are like broccoli cheese soup. We usually get a shrimp ring, which I never get a shrimp ring at any other time of year. I might make hot cider. My mom likes to make Polish sausage and bring it over. There are just some foods that they really expect. Do you guys have anything like that your kids look forward to?
My kids like to have eggnog on Christmas
Oh,
Eve,
that's
and
a
that's
great
something I
one.
try not to ever buy until that time. John's birthday's Christmas Eve. He likes red velvet cake, the cinnamon rolls, the Pillsbury kind on Christmas morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of have this, I don't even know if our kids like it. I think our daughter does, but I have ham and curried fruit and biscuits and cheese grits as our Christmas Eve dinner.
Oh, that's interesting. So you have ham, and what was the second item?
Ham and biscuits, cheese grits, and curried fruit.
What is
It's like
curried fruit?
all kinds of fruit with butter and brown sugar and curry on it.
Oh, that sounds really
It's
good.
a hot dish.
But you're not sure if your kids like it?
Well, my boys, they're kind of picky.
Okay.
But somebody will eat the ham, somebody will eat the biscuits. Molly
Okay.
likes the fruit.
It's nice
So
that you have a traditional Christmas Eve dinner.
We don't have any traditional things. It depends on like who's in the house, like, which family we have, because typically our Christmas foods are just so varied. So there's not like one thing that we do every year. We do know that we have to be very intentional about planning the time when our family is in the house because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people to plan for. And so I always have a ham at Christmas, and I do like to make a big meal, but I feel like the things that I want, nobody else really has things that they really want. Like I'm the one that's like, "Oh, I really want to have that or that or that." And they're all just happy that I made food, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, people set the bar so low that your family is just thrilled to death
That you
when
even
you
made a
have
meal.
made a big meal.
There is something to be said for don't start something that you don't think you want to continue on forever.
Oh man, and we love Mexican food. So it never fails that we have a Mexican food night
Oh,
over
that's
the
fun.
Christmas season
That
at
sounds
some
great.
point. Like we love Mexican, all of us. And of course, I mentioned all the stuff dipped in chocolate. Like we're
Mm.
all snacking on that all the time.
Mhm. Yeah. You can
So
just
yeah,
make a meal out of that.
I know. I mean, when you put peanut butter between Ritz crackers and dip it in chocolate, that's a meal.
Right.
But yeah, we have to do cinnamon rolls or I'll make French toast. I love to make French toast. That is something that I enjoy. But I'm planning a lot of meals over the Christmas break. So it's not just like there's just not one night or one morning. It's
Right.
meals for like a week, while we have
Mhm.
people
Right.
at the house.
And I just can't imagine why you have a hard time getting excited about Christmas when you're planning meals for a bunch of people at your
For
house
weeks.
for a week. Which makes me wonder, Mindy, what do you do to de-stress during this season?
To de-stress, we always go for a hike at some point. Now in Pennsylvania, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Maybe you could go sledding instead.
Yes, I make sure I get a good night's rest
Mhm.
because you can't do anything without a lot of sleep. We always turn on some music and kind of have a dance party.
Mm.
So I've mentioned before I love to dance, but there's at some point that we just turn on some good music and we just all let loose.
Do you have anything that helps relieve stress, Julie, or are you such a Christmas lover that you don't even feel stress at Christmas
I know.
time?
Well, I do try to keep exercising
Mhm.
because with all the extra food coming your way,
hmm
I just feel gross if I'm constantly overstuffed
Right.
and not doing anything. So I keep up my exercise, my working out and walking. And other than things I pick up along through the year for gifts, I do all my shopping online. Sit on the couch and punch buttons.
That's awesome.
So that has totally changed Christmas shopping for me.
Wow.
I love doing it that way.
Yeah, those are great ways. I don't know if I do anything to de-stress. I feel like I usually have at least one meltdown. My
Mhm.
personality is to be going along and then I reach a breaking point, have a meltdown at the expectations that I haven't met or the things that I still have left to do. And then it seems like I can pick back up and move on from there. So
Right.
I have to have my one seasonal meltdown. And I'm sure that if Steve was on this podcast, he could remember some of them.
Yes. I have definitely been there. I think I have probably one a season.
And expectations are so high at Christmas time. Even when you have older
Yes.
kids, you're always hearing about something else that some other family does, and you think, oh, maybe I should add that in, especially before my kids leave. There's always that
Right.
pressure as your kids get older, like, oh, every Christmas, this is the one they'll remember. Or what if this is the
Right.
last Christmas? You put all this pressure on yourself. So moving it back up into happy Christmas territory, I need some help from you guys and listeners because I really love to watch a Christmas movie, but
I'm so glad we're going to talk about movies.
there aren't that many that I
Oh.
actually enjoy. I mean, I love to watch a good Christmas movie, but in my mind, there aren't that many. I'll tell you the kind I like. Christmas
Okay.
with the Cranks.
Oh, I was going to
Oh,
say
we
that one.
love that one.
Yeah.
I want it to be funny. I want it to
And
be family oriented. I want it to
yes.
be something that I kind of get lost in.
Yes.
And could they please make more movies like Christmas with the Cranks?
Oh, man, when Tim Allen gets Botox and he's trying
Yes.
to eat dinner,
That's
I lose
hysterical.
it every time. Jamie Lee Curtis in a bikini,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, so yeah, I'm so glad you brought up Christmas movies because that's one of our favorite things, are Christmas movies.
So what ones are on your
Yep.
like top few that you like, Mindy?
Okay, so everybody likes Elf.
Uh-huh.
Of course. Yeah.
Elf is awesome. We could watch that throughout the year. I love the first two Home Alone movies.
Would you
Mhm.
believe I've never seen either one? Should
Are
I
you
watch them
kidding
at
me?
Should I
Marie,
watch them
go
at
home.
this late date? Are they truly
Yes.
Christmas
Yes.
movies?
Oh,
Hey,
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Marie.
And that's actually one of my stress relievers is watching Home Alone,
Okay.
the first one and the second one.
It is a stress reliever. It's slapstick, it's
It
unrealistic,
is.
but it's just funny. And it's become a staple in our house. Like we watch it every year, probably more than once.
Well, would
Love
you
the Home
also
Alone.
believe that I own Home Alone, but I've never watched it?
Have
Yes,
your
I
kids watch it?
Yes, it's like one
Oh,
of those things that I put on for my kids so I could get other Christmas things done. This year I need to just get it out and watch it also.
like
yes.
So what are some other ones? You have Home Alone. What are some other
all right,
ones?
Home Alone, Elf. I love The Preacher's Wife
Oh, me too.
with Denzel Washington. I love Christmas in Connecticut. It's an old movie.
Is it black and white or color?
They have it both. You
Colorized.
can
Okay.
do either one.
Maybe
It's a
I'll have to
Wonderful
try it.
Life. You have to
Okay.
watch it.
I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life.
Are you kidding?
Okay,
Because
Marie,
it
we are going to
always-
have
Intervention,
a
Julie.
girls.
Always, first of all, I don't want to watch a black and white movie. Second of all, it always seems like it will be so depressing. I know people think it's heartwarming, but to me, I'm just like,
Yeah.
really? I just can't get
No,
excited about seeing it.
Sure. I know what you mean.
It has
But watch it in color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I need to put these on. Go on.
Okay, tell me you've watched White Christmas
No.
in color. Okay,
Is it
Marie,
a
this
Bing Crosby, Julie?
Cosby?
Oh, it's
Oh.
Crosby. It's not
Wait, is
even
it Bing Cosby?
Is
Bing
it Bing Cosby or
Crosby?
Crosby? I can't
Crosby.
remember now.
Crosby.
It's Crosby. Okay.
Yes.
No,
take that out.
because isn't he like an old-fashioned dancer, Julie? And right away, I can't watch it.
I
Does he
know.
do
I
tap
that's-
dancing? Because I just can't.
Yes. Okay, and Holiday Inn is my all-time favorite.
Oh, I've
movie
never
ever.
seen
Is it
that.
black and white or in color?
I think they might have colorized it, but I like the black and white version.
Okay.
You
I
know
need
what?
to break down and watch some of these older movies.
You and your black and white movies, like you love to read books that don't have pictures. I think you can watch a black and white movie.
I know. I must have a mental block against black and white movies.
You know what? I'm not a big fan of black and white either. So even with like It's a Wonderful Life, it has to be in color.
Right.
Have you ever seen The Preacher's Wife, the original one? I can't remember what it's called.
No,
What is it
I
called?
haven't seen that original.
There's a black and white one.
I just love Whitney Houston and Denzel
I
Washington.
do too, and the music. Now that is a new tradition that we've started. Kayla and I watched that movie together because
Oh.
Molly and Andrew refused to watch it.
Okay.
They said, "Mom, an angel comes down to tempt a preacher's wife."
Yeah.
He goes, "What kind of Christmas movie is
But
that?"
it's Denzel. Hello.
I know. And I said, and it has Whitney Houston, and she
I-
sings. So
Ah.
Kayla and I decorate cookies and watch that movie every year. So
Okay, so there's still more. Like I love Miracle on 34th Street.
yes, the new one and the old.
newer one. Yes. And then I love it's a children's one, but I still watch it all for myself. It's Eloise at Christmas Time, where the girl that lives at the plaza, and it's not the cartoon.
Oh, I think
But it
that
has-
one would be good.
Yeah.
It
It
is so cute. Julie Andrews is her nanny. And I just love Julie Andrews. Yeah. How about you guys? Are there any other movies that you guys like? Because I feel like I could go on and on and on with the movies.
Do you
can
like
tell.
Polar Express?
It's okay. That's kind of
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah, I watched Polar Express with my kids, but once they didn't care about it anymore, I felt like it was a little long.
Yeah.
See, I'm so into Christmas. I will still watch claymation movies by myself because it reminds me of my
Now, if
childhood.
Rudolph or something like that was
Yeah.
on, I really do still like the nostalgia of watching those.
and
Right.
the Charlie Brown Christmas. You
Yes,
can't
the
go
Charlie
without one.
Brown Christmas. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can see why I'm hard to find a Christmas Christmas movie for, because if you don't like black and white or something that was made a long time ago, they just haven't made a lot of great
Mhm.
Christmas movies.
Yeah, I do think, when is another Elf going to come along? I think it's
I
time
know.
for a movie of that caliber to come
And
along.
maybe there's one out there. We just don't know about it.
I don't
Yeah,
think
so-
so.
Maybe our listeners can like help us out with this too.
Yeah.
I have to say right now, this is an appropriate time for us to be recording this podcast because it looks like a blizzard outside of my window
Oh,
here in
wow.
Pennsylvania.
I'm kind of
And-
jealous of that, because does it just make you feel like once your family gets home tonight, you can just hunker down and like have chocolate
Yes.
and watch a movie?
Yes, it does. I'm so excited. We might pull Elf out tonight or something.
Right.
Yeah, and we're like Monopoly or Scrabble may come out to the table. We will see.
Yes,
Yahtzee?
definitely. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. I don't care what the blizzard is, though. You're never going to get me to play Monopoly.
I
Me
you know,
either.
it's not my favorite.
It's
I'm a
too
Scrabble
long.
I don't have like the cutthroat. I want to take
Right.
the over and buy everything
Right.
like some other people in my family.
You're on a budget.
I'm like, oh, I don't care. Let's just have fun.
Here, you take my pieces and I'll watch Elf.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is.
All right. This was really fun. I feel more prepared to go through December. How about you guys?
I do.
Bring
You
it
guys,
on. I'm excited.
yes, you've given me some great ideas.
I
I'm going to
can't-
try not to set that bar so low this year.
Get those stockings stuffed now.
I will try to aspire to be more like Julie.
Me too.
And I'll try to I'm still going to have my one meltdown, but maybe it
Yes.
won't be as epic as it usually is.
There you go. Plan for it.
All right, see you guys later.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
ladies.
All right, bye.
Friends, thanks for listening. We're so glad you joined us today. We'd love to hear your questions and comments about today's episode or any suggestions you have for future topics. You can find us at Midlife Matters Podcast on both Facebook and Instagram. You can also contact us at midlifematterspodcast.com. And if you listen to us in iTunes or Apple Podcasts, would you please rate and review us there? That would help us so much. As always, thank you for listening, and we look forward to being with you next week. See you then.